How's it going, everyone? Welcome to or welcome back to the channel for another track guide episode. This time we are at Suzuka, the full layout, here in the GT2 spec Aston Martin V8. Here is the tune. We'll go over it pretty quickly. If this is your first episode, we're going to do 3 laps. First lap is going to be me on controller, going rather slowly, explaining brake markers. And really how to attack the corner exits, and stuff like that. Pretty simple stuff. Second lap is going to be on the wheel a little bit faster while I still try to explain the brake markers, but at a little bit quicker pace. And then the third lap is going to be an all-out, full, as fast as I care to go right now, quali pace. So our goal here for the quali is under 2 minutes. So without wasting any more time, let's hop right into it. Alright, assuming you are on a fast flying lap, you want to look for this pavement right here, and then give it just a little bit of dab of a brake. You don't want to brake completely, but you want to brake enough so you don't go wide. Dip it into the corner, coast, and then hard onto the brakes. About midway through this rumble strip section. Hard on the brakes. I like to downshift a second, coast through the corner, and then get on the power nice and early and roll it out. This corner, it's kind of hard because there's no rumble strip or anything to go by, but this little patch of dirt is usually here. This little patch of dirt right here up in front of my car. So when you're coming through, you don't want to brake necessarily on the dirt, but if you can see where the rubber starts, it's just before that, kind of in between these two little dirt patches. Again, just a little bit dab on the brake. You don't want to brake too hard here. Coast it in over this rumble, and then for this corner, if you're going a little bit fast, maybe a little bit dab of a brake. But most of the time, you don't want to brake for this corner or the next one, really. You really just want to let off. So up over that corner, get it back to the right as far as you can for this, and then let off again. Get it in. For this one, you may need to brake a little bit. But again, that whole S section is gas, let off. Gas, let off. Like, there's not much braking needed there. And then for this left-hander, long left-hander, I see a lot of people, when they exit this corner, they're out here. Right? And then they don't get it turned back or over to the right far enough, so they're over here, and then they take this corner too shallow and end up losing too much speed. So try to get it as far right as you can before this left-hander. It will help you. Ooh. The further you are right, the faster you can take this whole section. So be over here. If you're comfortable riding over the rumble, go for it, and then you should be full power, like pretty early there. As soon as you get it tucked into that left-hander, you should be mostly full throttle. Alright, coming up to what I think is probably the trickiest bit, besides maybe spoon. I like to brake between the 100 and the 50, so about 75-ish. There's no real brake marker, maybe before the light post here on the left. Yeah, you don't really want to look on the right side of the track for a brake marker, so about 75. If those brake markers are gone, just look for this post, the last post in the line, and just brake about 2 car lengths before that. Again, don't brake too hard, just a little bit of dab on the brake. You can cut this and then coast out on the throttle for a little bit, and then here again, there's no real brake marker. So you kind of want to look for this dirt patch. Just at the end of the dirt patch is where you want to be hard on the brakes. Shift it down. I like to go down to second, but be careful braking on that rumble strip. If you brake too hard on that rumble strip and lock up your fronts, that wall over there will become your friend very quickly. So hard on the brakes, cut this corner, and then full throttle. If you have to, you can let up a little bit here. I like to full throttle right up until the end of this rumble strip on the right. Right after this rumble strip on the right, I just let off the gas and then hard on the brakes before this post. Again, there's no real brake marker here that you can really just like smash on the brakes right there. Maybe this right tire mark here, this little dirt tire mark off to the right. But yeah, don't push it all the way up to the post unless like your car is ridiculous on the brakes. But full throttle till the end of the rumble strip on the brakes before the light post. Brake in a straight line, turn in as late as possible, and then on the gas. You really want to plan for the corner exit there because you have a long straightaway here. Alright, coming up to the spoon section. Look for this pavement, this little driveway here on the right. If your car is a little bit worse on brakes, you can brake just a little bit before it, which is what I like to do. I don't brake as early as the 100 board, just after the 100 board and just before the pavement. If your car is really good on brakes, you can push it up to the pavement, maybe even the start of that turf there on the right. Yep, hard brake, and then coast in. I like to be a gear down here too, so I'll push it in second gear, all the way out here. Coast in. Again, not really much braking, maybe just a little dab of the brakes just to get it turned in. And then run it all the way out. Use the whole track. Spoon is very difficult because you're kind of going over a hill, kind of off camber a little bit, so your car wants to slide. Most important thing about spa is getting the initial turn in correct. Find your apex and then hit it. And then this corner, this fast left-hander, I think this is 130R? I could be wrong. But when I'm flying through here in hood cam, I can tell where the guardrail on the right kinks to the right. So you can see up there it kinks to the right and then left. That's where I brake. And again, just a little dab of the brakes. You don't have to brake hard here. You want to take this corner at about 140 miles an hour. At here, you want to be at like 140. Ride it all the way out, but be careful on the rumble. This rumble strip can mess you up. And then coming up to the bus stop, I like to brake just before the 100, just to get my car settled. Because if you look, you're kind of going over a hill and down a little bit. So you can lock up your brakes just underneath the billboard here. So around the 100 board, brake hard, and then cut this corner. You can cut quite a bit of this. Get it right, cut quite a bit of this. I like to exit this in second gear. If you really need to, first gear, depending on how long your first gear is. But yeah, there's a lap. Suzuka is kind of difficult because there's not a whole lot of actual brake markers. Especially in the first sector, a lot of it is kind of off feel. So, we're going to do a lap on the wheel at a little bit faster pace. Nothing crazy, but... Alright. Turn 1, look for the pavement on the left. Little dab of brake. Get it turned in. Hard brake. Down to second. Up to third. Full power. Brake just between those two little dirt things on the right. And again, through here, there's no real brake. You just kind of let off, maybe a dab of the brake just to get it turned in. Our tires are a little bit cold. But yeah, through the S's, it's kind of a feel thing. You just kind of want to keep the car as stable as possible. Here, around the 75. Just before that dirt pile. And then look for the end of the rumble strip on the right. Hard on the brake. Don't run this wide. Try to hug this, you know, not super tight, but don't run it all the way out left. This actually saves you quite a bit of time there. Driveway on the right. Second gear. I like to ride out second. You don't have to. And then you can kind of see how Spoon just naturally wants to push your car out. Here, I like to look for the kink on the right. Dab of the brake. 100 board. Hard on the brakes. Cut these. Early on the gas. Alright. And there we go. A somewhat decent lap. 2023. Alright. Now I'm going to run a few hot laps. Pick the best one. And I'll catch you guys at the end of the video. Peace. Alright, can we get it this lap? We got fuel, we got tires, should be okay. Alright, let's go. Oh, we're actually up on our practice space. Come on. Bam, there we go. We got it. Whew, like I said, Suzuka's not my best track. That's a little bit tricky. Sorry if the track guide's a little bit bad here. Yeah, like I said, Suzuka's not my best track, so hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Hopefully it helped some of you. If you did, please like the video, and if you haven't already, please subscribe. Catch you guys in the next one. Peace.